Welcome back to Traveling with Krushworth. On this episode from our 2019 series in the United Kingdom, Lizzie and I are visiting a palace that needs almost no introduction. Aging gracefully over 500 years, Hampton Court awaits us with its iconic ties to one of England's most notorious kings, Henry VIII. Join us on this episode. One man may have changed the fate of world history, but his royal footsteps are not the only we'll be following. But first, we have to get there. We're taking the train from south of London. It's not quite the royal barge up the Thames like in yesteryears, but for us, riding the rails to the palace amped up our anticipation for the spectacular day ahead. There's nothing quite like joining the hustle and bustle of the London Underground. It's easy to get caught up in the lively energy and lose your travel partner. Luckily for me, Lizzie waited patiently on the platform. Just before we arrive, we'd love for you to like this video and subscribe so you're up to date with our future travels. We are very excited to be at Hampton Court Palace. It's going to be a wonderful day. And Lizzie, what makes this place so special?
It's so rich in history. You got, history about Henry VIII, and then, there's also stuff about William III.
We're also going to learn about Henry's 6 wives, and I understand there might even be a story about his early life, which is going to be really cool. So we'll show you all the sights. All right, see you later. Hampton Court is a work of art. 2 palaces in masterful juxtaposition. The 16th century Tudor splendor meshing with the Baroque intricacies of William III and Mary II. A sprawling residence built by Cardinal Thomas Wolsey for his king, we've stepped back 5 centuries into Henry's great roasting kitchen with its 6 enormous fireplaces. Quiet now, the din would have once been extraordinary, with up to 1,600 meals served each day. A veritable assembly line, these dishes commanded attention. A true political power play.
Kevin and I are in Henry's realm, a king not initially meant for the throne. His brother Arthur Tudor, Prince of Wales, was dead at 15, his rule robbed from him by the sweat and sickness. His bride, to whom he was engaged as a child, Catherine of Aragon, the daughter of Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain. Papal permission had to be secured for Henry to be wed to, yes, his brother's widow. The picture of youth, Henry VIII, was once revered for his athleticism and good looks. It wouldn't last. A horrific jousting injury forever changed his personality into the tyrant remembered by history.
Without a healthy male heir for Henry, Catherine was pushed aside, their union devastated by miscarriages and stillbirths. Wolsey failed to annul the marriage, retreating to his private gallery, dying a shamed figure. After his seismic schism with Rome, Henry's second wife, Anne Boleyn, walked here before us, yet she too was unable to give him a son. Unlike Lizzie and I, she had enemies in these halls and died at the Tower of London. The charges against her likely devised to remove her from the picture and her head from her body. We've set foot in Henry's great hall where sumptuous feasts were a 16th century show of English dominance. Lizzie and I are in the company of William Shakespeare, whose King's Men performed in this room to James I one plague-ridden Christmas, 1603, and Oliver Cromwell, who lived like the king he helped depose, making Hampton Court his palatial home. It's been 500 years since the Field of the Cloth of Gold, Henry's reign-defining festival with Francis I. More than its portable palaces and namesake opulent tents, their meeting near Calais, France in 1520 redefined royal one-upmanship. A European peace conference with 12,000 courtiers, 200,000 litres of wine, and 66,000 litres of beer sounds about right.
From the pond gardens to William III's privy garden, Kevin and I couldn't wait to start here and explore the expansive grounds. Hampton Court has always expressed its great tradition of horticulture, including the world's largest grapevine. Our over 60 acres of gardens will be back, maybe even to get lost in the hedge maze.
The triumphs of Caesar, among the most masterful paintings produced during the Renaissance, have graced Hampton Court for 400 years, brought here by the doomed Charles I. An ironic prison, his palace with all the trappings of extravagant wealth. Charles lived here under Cromwell's house arrest. The king's escape through his privy garden short-lived. His head would roll, a blood-soaked parliamentarian victory. Another century, another architectural wonder. You found Lizzie and I as we're climbing the king's staircase to the state apartments. The Glorious Revolution brought a new era to Hampton Court. With it, a new Baroque palace for the reign of William III and Mary II. Grand and sensuous in its richness, we're starting in William's presence room and onto the eating room. Excessive dinners in striking surroundings, the food was a status symbol, as were the portable tapestries carried from palace to palace. We're greeting the portraits of the elegant Hampton beauties in the king's private dining room. Their queen, Mary II, a powerful sovereign. Hers is the story of a daughter forcing her father from the throne, inviting her Dutch husband, the Prince of Orange, to rule by her side. From the little bedroom to the closed stool, we're looking at a unique item upon which the king's toileting needs were seen to by an influential groom. Thank you for watching this Hampton Court episode of Traveling with Krushworth. To return to Colchester and Wolmer Castle, click the link to the left. To visit Dover Castle and Southend-on-Sea, click the link to the right. Let us know what you loved about England. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like it, and don't forget to subscribe with notifications on. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.